We are on the last step of mapping this diagram. It is step 8, generalization relationships. So you can see this is the same thing, but we'll read it from our slide here. It says, make sure that the primary key of the subclass matches the primary key of the superclass. Set the primary key to be both the primary key and the foreign key in the subclass. So let's do this part first. Make sure that the primary key of the subclass, so that's the child class, matches the primary key of the superclass, which is the parent. So if I go up here, we see person is the parent, has W number, faculty and student are children, and they both have W numbers. So we're looking good here. And then it says set the primary key to be both the primary key and the foreign key in the subclasses. So we'll go ahead and jump back over here. And the way that we do that is we just say F key, we do a FK there, and then we'll need to make some room for that text. There you go. Now the primary key is both the primary key and the foreign key in the child classes. Now we're going to add relationship lines between the primary keys. So I'm just going to grab the relationship or the primary key and map it up to the other one. We'll do it on both sides here. Let's move this down just a smidge. Come on. There we go. All right, now let's scooch out a little and let's pull this down here. Okay, so we've added the relationship lines and it says multiplicity on the superclass is 1 and only 1. So that makes it easy. We don't need to worry about this. That will always be the multiplicity of the superclass. So for the child class, the multiplicity on that child class or subclass is 1 to 1 if the superclass is abstract, meaning it only represents a piece of data for the child classes to build off of, so we don't actually have an instance of it, or it's 0 to 1 if the superclass is concrete, and that is when we can have instances of that class. So looking at this course registration class diagram, can we have a faculty, or can we have a person in our system who's not faculty and who's not a student? Yes, we can actually. There's lots of different roles within the system here. So I'm going to say that this person class is concrete. We can have instances of persons without having them be a faculty or student. So that means, again, let's double check that. That means it's going to be 0 or 1. So let's change this end to be 0 or 1. And this end to be 0 or 1. There we go. I'm going to scooch this out so we can see that a little bit more. And now finally, one more thing. It says add XOR constraint between the two subclass relationship lines. So I'm going to just add a line between the two. It's not really that complex, this part. So I'm just going to grab this line and I'm going to connect it up. That's not the one I want, is it? That's not the one I want. I want a dashed line. Is this dashed? Okay, there we go. We want a dashed line. And this is just saying that the person can be this subclass or this subclass. Let's move it down a little. There we go. Add some text, XOR. And there is our specification. And this is how you add the XOR specification there. Okay, that is it. That is how you walk through mapping out your class diagram from this map class diagram to database diagram PDF. Please reach out if you have any questions about this process.